既然吃饱喝足，那该是上场表现的时候啦。这里是中世纪时代古堡的马术表演场，在大批观众还没有到来前，我们运气很好，可以有幸一睹他们的日常排练情景。Jesse 是古堡的骑士领袖，光鲜夺目的他对自己的工作充满了热情，拉着我们听他讲述自己的出道历程。
So when I first started working here, I was in security, and I would avoid being around the horses at all whatsoever. So like our stable area, I would just not go near them. I would walk around them as much as possible and not be near them. Got bored of that, and I was always watching the show, and it looked like being a knight was fun. So I transferred down here and became a squire. I did that for about 6-7 months, and then I became a knight. A squire is, in our show, it's like a stagehand. Historically, it was a boy who was being trained underneath a knight. So they would learn combat and how to tack up a horse and how to ride a horse and whatnot. So it's kind of similar in this situation. In our castle, we hire squires, and they learn how to work with horses, tack them up, ride, sword fight, and then eventually when it gets to the point where they are able to perform in the show, they'll be promoted to becoming a knight, and then they'll do the show. They're a lot of fun. They're almost like giant puppies when you get close to them, and sometimes you kind of forget that they are these giant animals that can step on your feet and crush you. But they're pretty friendly. They're very well tempered. We have really good horses here. Well, day-to-day routine is mostly, it's very horse related. Right now I'm training a newer horse. He's an Azteca, he's a stallion. And I'm working with him and putting him in the show, and he's doing it successfully right now. And I'm working with him to learn how to joust, so having the loud noises and breaking on shields and getting used to the ringing of the swords and whatnot, and kind of getting them used to that whole situation. So when we come in, it can vary on what we do. Sometimes we'll get the horses a break if we had a lot of shows. Like last week we had a large show count, and so we gave the horses a week off. So what we do then is we work on our combat. Sometimes we'll work out and just kind of condition ourselves. So we try to stay in shape. It's a very, very physical job. It's very active. It takes a lot to do this job, and to keep your body in good shape is going to prevent you from injuries and any like torn anything or sprained muscles and stuff like that. Actually, it's really important that we build a bond with the horses because we rely on them so heavily for everything that we do. I mean, we're falling off of them, we're riding them around, we're in an arena with over 1,200 people who are screaming, chanting, banging plates and whatnot, and if the horse isn't comfortable and he doesn't trust you, you're gonna have an issue. So we establish that bond by working with them every day, riding, just kind of taking care of them, you know what I mean? Like I said, the squires are the ones who are mostly hands-on with them. They're the ones who are going to be tacking them up, and they kind of will recognize the people who are comfortable around them. Horses can really tell if you're nervous around them or not. And they can be playful and kind of take advantage of you a little bit if you are shy with them. But if they know that you know what you're doing, they'll listen and they'll be. I've only been the head knight for about 5-6 months now. I'm newly promoted, but I've been doing this job for about 7 years. I come into work and I work with a bunch of friends, you know what I mean? Like we all joke around, and it's like a locker room mentality. It's a boys club almost, because yeah, I mean we all goof off, we all joke around, and I mean we have to go out there and perform in front of, like I said, thousands of people. And that's just our job, is to provide entertainment and to make people happy and kind of give them an escape for 2 hours and be here and forget everything else that's going on in their life, and they get to be here and scream and chant and yell and have a good time. We actually prefer that you don't have any horse experience because at that point you're a blank slate. So to learn something that's kind of weird to begin with is easier to instill, because some people who have horse riding experience probably ride a different way than we do. They do Western or jumping or whatever it is. What we do is it's English, it's more of an English riding. It's dressage and mixtures of other things. So we have our own way of doing everything. To become a knight, it's kind of like any other job where you fill out an application. And then you write in squire, and you go through the interview process. And if I decide that you're fit to be a squire, you'll be hired. To become a squire actually has some prerequisites to it. You have to actually pass a heart rate monitor test, where it's kind of like this stepping thing that you come up and it measures your heart rate. So ideally we're looking for people who are physically fit, because as I said before, to do this job you have to be physically fit to do this. I mean, it's very, very physical. Like, even for a squire who isn't in a combat or isn't fighting, is still running back and forth. They're basically our stagehands, so we rely on them for getting our weapons out, taking our horses, making sure that the arena's safe and all that. So to become a squire, you just have to be someone who's going to be physically capable of doing this job. And every squire that we hire is always going to be a potential knight. So we look for those qualities in a person, someone who works well, who has ambition, and has a drive, and has a personality to perform in front of these people.
现今社会，也许您一辈子也见不到一个骑士、一匹战马，但这里有你所有想要的：骑士、驯马、打斗、竞技，没有你想不到的，就看你敢不敢做。这些经验丰富的驯马师能让胯下的马听从他们摆布，他们对马的驾控就如同我们平时开车，得心应手，游刃有余。在奔跑中，他们追寻方向；在格斗中，他们体现价值。哎呦，当心，没摔坏吧？可把我们小蜜吓着了。其实他们是在进行特技动作排练呢。观众想要看到的就是这种热闹和刺激，他们正通过自己的努力和付出来满足大家。